Lumpy's Adventure, Episode 16. Lumpy woke up on another day, and this time he knew he had to get the gang back together again. The ghost, formerly known as Blockface, was waiting right beside his bed on the closest torch. Anderson was already awake, taking care of Nightmare and Daydream. Daydream had already gotten bigger in one night. Minecraft horses don't take a long time to grow up.
But real horses do.
Lumpy asked the ghost, formerly known as Blockface, to go find Sir Joseph and Kitty Ranger. They were probably at Sir Joseph's fort or somewhere nearby. And if he could, also find James and Logan. Lumpy had a better plan, but he still needed their help. Off the ghost went, and Lumpy went to go talk to Anderson. Sir Joseph and Kitty Ranger were out finishing the quest that they were on for the Queen, when all of a sudden, two mounted princess warriors came in riding on pigs. It was Princess Sydney and Warrior Princess Avery. They were looking for Kitty Ranger and Sir Joseph on behalf of the Queen, Juliette Caesar. The warrior Princess Sydney climbed off her sparkly pink pig, because that's what they rode in that kingdom, and read a proclamation.
What is proclamation?
Dun 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 dun. Sir Joseph and Kitty Ranger, on behalf of our Queen and Protector, ruler of the East, protector of the South, explorer of the West, and dominator of the North, the lovely and beautiful Juliette Caesar, our Queen, I am here to ask you, what the heck are you doing, and how come you are not sticking to your task? Dun 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 dun. They finished reading it with fanfare, along with the two warrior princesses. Fanfare is when the trumpet plays like that noise that I do. Along with the warrior princesses was an entourage of other warriors and servants that helped the two princesses. They were the ones blowing the trumpets, and the trumpets had banners hanging from them with little piggy faces on them. This was so funny to Blockface, or the ghost formerly known as Blockface. He jumped in a torch nearby. You ride pigs and have piggy banners for your kingdom? That's your symbol? Joseph laughed. Yep, that's the symbol. Juliette Caesar loves piggies. It used to be a really cool, scary-looking symbol, but when she became queen, she decided to change it all and make it piggies. So we just decided not to fight it and roll with it. Joseph and Kitty Ranger explained to the warrior princesses, Sydney and Avery, that they had a very important task to help the king of the Endermen. Princess Sydney and Princess Avery were skeptical. They scratched their heads and said, I don't know if Queen Juliette Caesar is going to like this, but I can ask and see if she's okay with you guys stopping your task to help this lumpy pear or lumpy apple or whatever his name is. And so, with more piggy fanfare, bum, 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 Juliette princesses, Sydney and Avery, rode all the way back to the kingdom of Juliette Caesar. Kitty Ranger said, well, that at least bought us some time. Maybe we could do the task for Juliette Caesar and help Lumpy at the same time. We'll see.
Who's Avery?
The ghost, formerly known as Blockface, jumped in a torch and said, Sir Joseph, Kitty Ranger, first of all, you got to see this horse. Nightmare had a baby. It's a boy. It is the cutest thing. Second of all, we need to get the gang back together. We have a better plan. This is Catch the Enderman Rulers 2.0. It'll work this time. Joseph and Kitty Ranger said, well, we can't keep doing this, but all right, we'll give it one more shot. By the way, have you seen James and Logan? Yes, Sir Joseph said. They've been digging holes and popping up out of the ground like moles all over the place. If you just stand here and look long enough, you'll see them poking their heads out and going back down. It's like whack-a-mole. We thought a few times about hitting them on the head with a hammer just for fun. It wouldn't hurt because they have helmets on, but it would sure get their attention. All right, I'll look for them. And they'll definitely have torches, so I'll be able to talk to them. So off Sir Joseph and Kitty Ranger went back to Anderson Town, where Lumpy and Anderson were putting the final touches on making their way back to the chamber that they had built. They were carrying a backpack full of black wool. What could the plan be? Well, soon enough, they met along the way. Kitty Ranger, Sir Joseph, Anderson, and Lumpy were all walking back toward the chamber, the fake Ender Portal chamber. And the ghost, formerly known as Blockface, discovered James and Logan digging away. Redstone! I found redstone! Here, move the torch over here. That was the perfect time for Blockface to stick his face in the fire and scare the snot out of them. Boo! They dropped the torch and started running. Now how am I going to get there? He had to wait for them to stop running and light another torch. And he slowly crept into the fire. And he kept his eyes closed. And he plugged his nose so they wouldn't see his nose holes or his eyes. And he whispered and he said, James, Logan, hey, psst. Again, it freaked out Logan and James. They dropped the torch and ran all the way down another tunnel that they dug. All right, I got to come up with a different plan. So he waited for them to light another torch. They put it on the wall, and they were talking to each other. Okay, I think we lost whatever that creepy ghost or whatever that noise was or whatever is scaring the snot out of us. And I'm all out of snot to be scared out of. And so the ghost, formerly known as Blockface, went into the torch while their backs were turned. And instead of whispering or spooking them, he decided to sing a song. A friendly, happy song that went something like this. James and Logan are the best miners that I ever saw. They dig, 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 and I'm in the torch, and don't run away, 'cause it's me, Blockface. They just turned around and said, that was the dumbest song I ever heard. The ghost, formerly known as Blockface, told James and Logan that we needed to meet up at the chamber with the fake Ender portal inside. They dug their way up. Somehow they knew exactly where they were, and they popped their heads out of the ground like moles, and Blockface flew ahead of them to tell Lumpy and the gang that they were on their way. So they waited, and the sun was going down, and soon enough, James and Logan joined up with the gang in the chamber. All right, you guys, this is what we're going to do. Anderson sheared all his sheep and dyed the wool black. We're going to dress up like Endermen. What? That's right, we're going to dress up like Endermen. Well, we're going to look like baby Endermen because have you seen Endermen? They're huge. Yes, but listen, just listen. Then we're going to take the Infinity Ender Pearl and put it right in the middle of the portal. Okay, that's the bait. You see, all the Endermen will probably recognize it and know that it belongs to the King of the Endermen. And the evil Enderman that took over the King's kingdom, will probably want it, and so they'll come. Okay, well, wouldn't the rulers still be loyal to the king? Well, we don't know, so we're just going to do this. So half of you are going to be dressed like Endermen. The other half, with Lumpy, are going to be waiting in the chamber. At night, you guys come out above the ground, right above the chamber. And as soon as you see an Enderman, you kind of do a funny dance to get their attention. Maybe pick up a block, wave it over your head, say, woo woo, Enderman over here. And then dig the block right below you, fall right down into the chamber. We'll be waiting with pumpkins on our heads. And as soon as an Enderman comes in, we'll get him. Because he'll be distracted by the Ender Pearl that is on the portal. How does that sound? Well, it sounds better than waiting in the dark like we did last time for the ceiling to cave in. And what about the ceiling? Is this going to cave in again? No, we've reinforced it with wood and all kinds of stuff. So it should be fine. All right. So who's the lucky ones that get to go be bait? Stick their necks out. How about, let's see, Sir Joseph, and Kitty Ranger, and Anderson. Dress up like Endermen. And Logan and James, you hang out with me down here in the chamber. Now remember, if it's the ruler of the Enderman, you guys cannot attack it. And if it's just a normal Enderman, we'll keep our pumpkins on our heads and maybe they'll just go away. Oh, okay. Sounds kind of risky though. What if it takes the pearl and then goes away with it? Well, we'll figure that out when it happens. Okay. So they put the plan into motion. Sir Joseph, Kitty Ranger, and Anderson were upstairs dancing around, pretending to be Endermen. They would look at each other and scream and dance around and take blocks and jump real far and just try and act like an Enderman. Because to catch an Enderman, you need to think like an Enderman. So it looked like there was an Enderman party with 3 dancing, funny, short, little stubby Endermen. All of a sudden, an Enderman appeared. The plan was working. Lumpy and Joseph and Anderson dug holes and dropped straight below. Just like the plan. Kitty Ranger was so close to the Enderman, she was tempted to look into its eyes. She looked right up into its eyes And the Enderman looked down at Kitty Ranger and was very confused. He was thinking almost like, "You're a tiny Enderman. You're a really tiny Enderman." Kitty Ranger realized that she was going to get in trouble, so she dug a hole real quick, and it looked like she disappeared like Endermen do. Well, of course, Endermen know where things go when they teleport. And so, zoop, zoop, the Enderman followed Kitty Ranger right into the chamber. They stuck on their pumpkins real quick so that they would disappear. The Enderman was standing in the chamber like it knew that it was an Ender chamber and that it knew that it was an Ender portal. And it looked down and saw the king of the Endermen's infinity Ender pearl. And it disappeared. It didn't take the Ender pearl. Why? All of a sudden, the Enderman reappeared in the chamber with 3 other Endermen. They were all standing around the Ender pearl. They knew it was the king's that still had the necklace band around it. And they disappeared. And then reappeared. There were 8 Endermen in the chamber. Lumpy, Sir Joseph, Kitty Ranger, Anderson, Logan, and James all had their jack-o'-lanterns on their head. And they were scared to say a thing. The ghost, formerly known as Blockface, didn't have to worry about anything because he was a ghost. And the Endermen looked around as if they were thinking, what on earth is going on here? And then they disappeared. All of them. The chamber was empty. And Logan said, "What should we do? It's kind of working, but I'm getting scared. What if 16 Endermen show up next? This room's going to be pretty tight, and they're going to be bumping up against us." As soon as he said that, one Enderman appeared. It was one of the 12 rulers. It was like the other Endermen told them what they found, but all of them were afraid to touch it. As soon as Lumpy saw the Eye of the Ender necklace around the Enderman, he knew. And he drew his sword of healing and jumped at the Enderman and slashed him with it. His pumpkin fell off when he jumped, and the Enderman started staring right in his eyes. Was it going to work? Everybody got ready to attack. And just like when Lumpy healed the Enderman King, the sword flashed and flew out. And the Enderman lay on the ground, kind of making a groaning sound. Lumpy ran over to his pumpkin and grabbed it and was about to put it on his head. And he said, "Everybody, just wait. This is what happened before. I think it worked." And then Lumpy said to the Enderman, "Ruler of the Enderman Kingdom, I am here to help you. I have been sent on a quest by the King of the Endermen, and I have released you from your curse. He needs your help, and this was the only way that I knew how to get you here. In fact, I didn't know. But we just had to come up with a plan and hoped it would work. As Lumpy explained this to the healing and groaning Enderman ruler on the ground, he spoke back to everyone in the room. Of course, everyone took their pumpkins off because it was starting to get hot and smelly in those things. And he said, "Thank you, Lumpy, and thank you, all of you. I must leave this room quickly and tell the Endermen and pretend to be cursed that is not the king's Ender Pearl, so that word does not spread. I will be back shortly. But put your pumpkins on your head, just in case. And I will teach you a secret about that Ender Pearl the king gave you. If you all hold hands, whoever throws the Ender Pearl, everyone attached and holding hands with him, will be teleported also." So Lumpy picked up the Ender Pearl and put it back around his neck. And Lumpy said, "Wait! The Enderman King said that we need your Eye of Ender." "That is right, but if I go tell these Endermen, I'll be right back. You'll have to trust me." And so the ruler disappeared. Everyone was nervous. And he went to tell the 8 Endermen that told him. He went to explain what had happened. That it wasn't really the king's Ender Pearl. And that it was just something that looked like it. Not long after, the ruler reappeared and said, "Get out of here. They didn't believe me. They knew that the curse was lifted and now they're trying to get me. Get out before they come back. Put on your pumpkins and get out." They all put on their pumpkins and climbed out of the hole of the chamber. And he told them in their head, like Endermen speak, "I will find you in Anderson Town tomorrow evening, and I will bring the other 11 rulers of the Enderman Kingdom. And we will have to be careful because they're still cursed. So get ready and mark the location of where you want me to be with a pillar of iron ore in the middle of a field. I will look for you, and I will bring the other 11 and be ready to lift the curse. But I must go." So Lumpy, Anderson, Sir Joseph, Kitty Ranger, Logan, and James all ran as fast as they could. And then Kitty Ranger said, "Wait, let's just use the Ender Pearl. It'll go a lot faster." So they all held hands, and Lumpy threw the Ender Pearl as far as he could. And he threw the Ender Pearl as far as he could. And they all teleported every time, all the way back to Anderson Town. And that's when Lumpy remembered not to use it too many times without letting it rest, because it becomes fragile. Nobody could sleep that night, but they tried. They knew they had a big day, and it was only a few more hours of nighttime anyway, so they laid down and tried to get as much rest as they could. They were all safe. They were all a little bit spooked, but they were glad to know that the plan worked. And now they have the King of the Endermen and an Enderman ruler. The ghost, formerly known as Blockface, jumped into a torch and said, "You guys, I don't know if Lumpy told you, but I want a really cool name. I'm sick of my name, which is just a nickname that my friends gave me. So if you can think of one, I'd sure be obliged to have a new name." Well, let's see. You hang out in the fire. Do you want to be Fireface? No, I don't want to be Fireface. I want something cool. Fireface is not cool. Well, how about Sparky? No. Okay, we'll think some more on it. We're all tired. Blockface. I mean, not Blockface. We'll think of a good name for you. What's the name you have? Blaze? No, I don't want to be Blaze because there's already a Blaze, and Blazes are scary. So, we'll see. We'll see if we can come up with a new name for you. Alright, let's all get as much sleep as we can. We have another big day of preparations, and hopefully we can get the rest of the Endermen to join our side. Dun 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 dun. Huh? Blaine? Blaine? Why Blaine? It's not Blaze.
Still recording.
Yeah. Good night.